Hey everybody, it's Roberto, and tonight we have a serious video. We have to talk about a massive YouTube hack that's been affecting the community. These are hacks that are a little bit different than what we've seen before. We've seen plenty of YouTube hacks, plenty of Bitcoin scams. I'm gonna need you guys to do me a huge favor because this is a serious video. For one thing, there's a chance that this video might be gated in some way by YouTube because of what we have to talk about. I'm not saying they're going to suppress it. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that this video might be gated or get less distribution. So I'm going to need you to share this video in Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, pretty much anywhere that you can, because we're going to be talking about how content creators can protect their privacy and security and secure their accounts from these hacks that are hijacking YouTube accounts. And it doesn't matter if you're a larger or smaller channel, and actually mid-tier creators are probably the most overall vulnerable to this. So I'm going to explain that. I actually have to reference a ton of notes. And for the security portion of this video, I did consult a security expert, my friend Shannon Morse, aka @Snubs in Twitter. Guys, she said you can feel free to hit her up with your questions around this and any security questions that you had. I'm also going to reference her YouTube channel, multiple of her videos down below for you guys. So just make sure you're checking that out. Get your information from an actual security expert. I'm going to be relaying everything I talked with her about in my notes here. And so this video is not going to be highly edited. This is going to be a massive information dump. And toward the end of this video, if anyone from YouTube is watching, I have some advice and some thoughts on what you can do to help creators a bit more. I know you're doing, as much as you can right now, especially with quarantine, but I think that there's more we can address. The important thing to know about these particular YouTube hacks, they're taking over people's accounts, locking them out, stealing their AdSense, and streaming Bitcoin scams in the community. The important thing to know is this bypasses two-factor authentication. This is bypassing two-factor authentication, and it's doing so by using a SIM card swap to compromise people's accounts when they try to do that. So what's happening is people are using the forget password feature, and then the hacker has the authentication go to their phone, and then they're able to change the password and lock the content creator out. So that's what's happening here. Now, the important thing in here is prevention. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's easier to try everything you can to prevent your YouTube account from being compromised and being hacked than to try to hope that everything will be okay and that you'll get it back with the help of Team YouTube. And then there's no guarantee that your YouTube channel won't somehow be impacted if you manage to get it restored and get your videos, your content back, and get all of that up and running again. So it's better to just not be in that position in the first place, if at all possible. If you are a YouTube content creator, if you are a public figure, if you are a journalist, if you are an activist, if you are anybody in the public eye, if you are on this platform, you are a target. I cannot stress that enough. And so you need to act accordingly. And again, I'm going to try and give you the best information I know how to help address this. Firstly, before we get to the two-factor authentication part and how they're reverse engineering that, let's address phishing scams through triggering emails. If you get something with a triggering email headline from YouTube, or that seems to be from a brand, assume that it is a scam and that it is a phishing scam designed to get you to click on something that will give them access to your account. Do not click on anything. Just assume that if it is a triggering subject matter email about copyright, about losing your account, about anything, it is a scam. In order to help make that a little bit easier, with your YouTube account, sign that up to a secret email address. Do not make the email account that manages your YouTube channel public in any way. If it currently is, you want to do everything to change that. If you have in your About section an email listed for people to contact you for business purposes, make that a completely separate, a completely different email. I know that it's a pain in the butt. I know managing different email accounts is frustrating and it's inconvenient. It is essential for the purposes of security and protecting everything that you have built. Please, please, please make a separate account for that and have a separate secret email for managing your YouTube account and use it for nothing else. Use a password manager that has an unreadable by human beings password that is generated. Do not just rely on making up your own passwords. Use a complex password generator and consider using a password manager that allows you to have the different passwords for each and every website. Again, I know it's a pain in the butt. It is essential to do. I recommend the following: Dashlane, LastPass, and 1Password. Any one of these three works and they're fine, and I think that they're going to help you, and so I would recommend them. Limit third-party access to your YouTube account in terms of plugins, in terms of things that help you with your YouTube channel. Limit that to as few as possible. There are a few that I use on the channel. There's a few that a lot of us YouTube educators use and recommend, but beyond those which are YouTube certified, we don't like to use third-party plugin, third-party accounts, and give third-party access to our accounts. All it takes for those doors is for one of them to have a faulty lock for you to lose everything. All right, so limiting the amount of ways that someone could get into your account is in your best interest. Again, I know all this is scary. I know this all is serious, but you have to take it seriously. A friend of the channel, personal friend of mine, John Prosser, Front Page Tech, over 250,000 subscribers, had his YouTube account hacked today, and they ran one of these Bitcoin live stream scans, had 40,000 viewers on it. They made I think $4,000 is what was said. These things are serious and they are targeting YouTubers, and you are not safe. You have to assume that you're not safe. So you have to take every single precaution possible. And that's why I'm making the video. Again, please share this with other content creators. Please take every precaution for your channel. And I have a few more items here to get through. I know this isn't a fun video, and I know it's not super edited. I know some of you are bored because you're just sitting here listening to me talk, but this is important. It's too important. So two-factor authentication, the thing that they're bypassing, it's not foolproof, clearly. The way that this is happening is at some point, if they have access to enough information about you, they can impersonate you with your phone carrier, and then they can do what's called a SIM card swap. So I'm gonna link to a video from Shannon Morse that explains how to prevent that in detail. I'm gonna link to that in the description. You should absolutely watch it. You should watch as much of this content about security as you possibly can. I'm gonna try and put together a playlist for you. And at some point on the channel, I'm gonna do some collaborations with security experts to help you. Maybe we do it as a live stream, and we'll try to answer your questions in the comments. Now, there are a couple of things you wanna do. First of all, do not tell anybody your phone carrier. If you buy a new phone, I know the new iPhone is coming out, don't tell people what carrier you got it from. Don't tell people who you have your phone plan signed up with. Do not tell people your carrier. Start really being cautious and thoughtful about the private information that you share with people on the internet as a public figure. Do not tell them who your cell phone carrier is. That's number one. Number two, you have to, when it comes to a SIM card swap request, you are not usually told this, but you should request a specific passphrase when it comes to this, a security passphrase. If you do not request this, there is a possibility that your provider doesn't require it. So unless you specifically request that this be required and it's notated in your account, then they could just ask to do this without any kind of security protocol or any other verification. And so they can use basic information to impersonate you. Again, especially if you've been sharing a lot of details of your life as YouTubers are wont to do. And so once they do this, once they hit forgot password and two-factor authentication goes through, instead of going to your phone number with your SIM card, it's going to the hacker's phone, and that's how they're getting in, and that's how they're locking you out. So that is how they are bypassing the two-factor authentication. And so you want to take every precaution to prevent that, and there are a couple of extreme measures here beyond talking to your cell phone provider that you can take. For one thing, you could go ahead and get a secret phone number and a secret phone that you use for social media and that you use for two-factor authentication for all of your social media accounts. This is an extreme measure. I understand not everyone can afford a second phone. Not everyone can afford a second phone line. I understand that. For those of you who can, who are mid-tier or top-tier creators, take this extra step. And I know it's inconvenient as hell, but this needs to be a phone number that nobody knows about. This needs to be the primary device besides one that is in your home in terms of a desktop and laptop that you log in with. And so you need to limit the devices that have access to your YouTube channel. Again, fewer doors, in case one of those locks doesn't work. So we need to do that. Okay. The other thing is, in terms of a phone number being out there and existing, you should have a Google Voice number and nobody else should know what your phone number is, okay? So there's that. Avoid possibly even having that phone number forward to your actual phone number. Just have it be within the app and that's it, if at all possible. Limit your public Wi-Fi usage if you can do that. Quarantine probably makes that a little bit simpler for some of you, but I know a lot of people like to work in coffee shops or restaurants. Limit that because it's gonna make you less vulnerable in general. Make sure you're using antivirus software of some kind. I know a lot of people are skeptical about it. Even if you use Apple devices, I still put antivirus stuff on my Apple computers and on my devices, even my iPad. So just kind of like, again, prevention's better than cure. And then finally, there is another piece of hardware you can get. You could get a physical hardware token. In the case of YouTube and Google, this is called a Google Titan key. These are something that you will have to invest money in. There are also another company, I believe it's called Ubi. I believe I'll let you know in the description. I'll link to resources for you for security. But these Google authentication keys are basically key fobs that, you can use to physically unlock your device in terms of being able to access your Google account or what have you. And so you're gonna want that as your two-factor authentication method. And so Google's advanced security allows you to set that option. And I would recommend any content creator that is a full-time content creator or is very close to that threshold, just make this an investment and make this a priority. If you have a monetized YouTube channel, I would say set aside the money, save it up, make this a priority. This is not an affiliate link. Don't worry, I'm not getting anything out of that. So just go ahead and buy this physical key. It is a lifetime investment in protecting your YouTube channel from these hackers. I also think it should go without saying, please, please, please do not give anybody your password for your Google or YouTube account or for any of your social media. Please, please, please do not do that. If possible, do not use the same password twice. Also, in terms of protecting your privacy, if you have your own website, make sure you're using private registration. That way they can't get private information about you, like your phone number, to be able to use in order to impersonate you and get access to this, or just have one more way that they might be able to get around everything and get into your accounts. So please, please, please just make sure you're doing that as well. Make sure that you're locking down as much private information as yourself as possible and scrubbing as much of yourself from the internet as is possible for a public figure. Thank you. So my thoughts for Team YouTube and for what YouTube and Google can do to help content creators. You know what? I know that you guys actually have a lot of robust security features and that you do the best that you can. And it's actually, in many cases, a lot. And so the biggest issue, I think, is that content creators are not educated about the threats that they're facing. And I think that if you can find any way, shape, or form, and I know how difficult it is to educate the community at large about anything. I have personal experience with that. I know that literally you can put things in the YouTube dashboard, staring it in people's face, and they still won't click on it, and they still won't sit through it because it's not entertaining enough. I know. Believe me, I suffer through it on this channel every single day. So I understand how hard it is to teach people boring things that they actually need to know. But please, YouTube, a couple of things here. please find some means in some way to illustrate the severity of these hacks and compromised accounts, even if you have to trot out the biggest content creators who have ever suffered from these hacks and use them and plaster their face all over everything to get people to take it seriously. If that's what it takes, please make those overtures and please get those creators to come forward and do that, because people actually listen to people who have 1 million+ subscribers when they talk. And then, I'm sorry for everybody for throwing shade there, but it's the truth. And then another thing is, for any content creator who's been compromised during this time, because I know that you guys are understaffed and overburdened with quarantine limiting capacity. I understand all of that. But if what you could do is, for any content creator who has been compromised, if you could ask to send them, if you could just opt to send them a Google Titan key, I think that that's a strong overture to the community that you support creators. I think those creators would appreciate it. And those creators will probably talk to their community, the other creators in their groups and in their audience, and stress the importance of security. So I think that that could help, and anything you can do once you restore creators' accounts to fully, truly educate them about these kind of issues, then that would be amazing. If there could even be some creator masterclass in terms of security that you guys make available and that you guys publicly promote on a regular basis, so that creators make sure that they're following these things. If you could bring in any experts that can help people within the YouTube community, that can be a resource. And also, if you could really just constantly hammer this issue home for creators, even by putting some advertising behind it, maybe that would go a long way. If people could just have this be an issue that is relevant to them. I know how hard it is to manufacture relevance and to get people to click on anything that's not wildly entertaining coming from somebody with 1 million to 10 million subscribers. This is gonna be a good, fun time, but this is too important for the community, because we literally have people losing their entire livelihoods and years of everything they've worked for, those memories, those accomplishments. They might have brand deals up in the air, and it could be days or weeks before this gets resolved for them. And it's just a nightmare when it happens to a content creator. I've been in text and DMs with creators like all night before making this video that are going through this right now. And I just feel horrible for them in this situation. And I really just don't know how they're coping with it. So anything that can be done, I would hope is being done, not just for these creators, but to just help make our community more aware, more educated, and better protected in these circumstances. And so that's my final thoughts for YouTube. No shade, no tea. I get it. It's very hard to educate people about anything. I get it. So everybody, that's it for this video. I'm exhausted. This has been emotional for me too, because again, these aren't just people who I know from YouTube. These are friends of mine that are affected by this. And I just really I'm like, this is not even the first time that we've had to address this on the channel. And it's not something that I think we're gonna see the last of. So please take this seriously. Take the security of your channel seriously. Don't think it can't happen to you, okay? It can happen to anybody and the best of us. And even with all the precautions, there's no such thing as a guarantee, but it's better than nothing. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna try my best to have a better, more lighthearted video where I'm less frustrated and less exhausted, and where I'm my usual self. Okay, so if you want anything like that, by the way, there are other videos here on this channel. Watch them after you lock down your account. Anyway, I'm not gonna ask you to do the normal things. What I'm going to insist upon is that you share the video with anybody that can benefit from it, and that you look into your own security. Please check out the videos from Shannon Morris, aka @Snubs in Twitter, and also her YouTube channel. I'm gonna link to that below. I'm gonna link to it in the info card. It's gonna be the only thing that I link to here in the info card. So that's it for you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, go out there, create something awesome today, and lock it down. Take care.